Back in LA.
Nice.
After 22 hours of traveling yesterday.
Oh.
Pretty rough. Yeah.
I hope
flights.
You got some scotch, man. In the duty free. In the duty free, I'm saying.
3 flights. Flight number 1 from Scotland down to Heathrow.
Flight number 1 was from the island of Islay, which is where the distilleries are, many of them, to Glasgow.
Okay.
Flight 2, Glasgow to Heathrow. Flight 3, Heathrow to LA.
I submit to you, Heathrow to LA is so bad of a flight, I'd rather break it up. I'd rather go Heathrow to JFK and then JFK to LAX.
I think that on the way back, I prefer to do it all in one move because you leave at like 4 in the afternoon and you land at like 7 at night.
Right.
And if you can just stay awake, then you can collapse at 9 and sleep through the night. On the way there, I think it's better to go to JFK from LA at least. It's better to go to JFK first and adjust to New York and then take the like 6.5 hour flight to London or Paris.
I did the opposite of that the last time I flew like a long haul flight. I just wanted to get where I was going. And then on the way back, I was like, I'm going to take my time. Break this up a little bit.
All right.
I don't get jet lag.
What?
I don't get jet lag at all.
What do you mean you don't get jet lag?
I just don't get jet
Everybody
lag.
gets jet lag.
I don't
Maybe
get
you're
jet
just
lag.
always jet lagged.
Or maybe I'm just walking around life permanently
always
jet
feel like
lagged.
shit all the time and you
that's
think
a
it's
good point.
normal.
You have to be strategic in order to avoid jet lag. Like when you get to like I remember once doing the red eye into London, and you fight like hell to stay up until like 7:30, so you can have a reasonable. Like it's all about the first night when you go to sleep, so you can adjust to the new time, and then jet lag is over.
Pretty much, but I don't have to fight like hell. I'll be
And
tired.
London's only 5 hours from here.
What's that?
London's only 5 hours.
Well, not from here. From JFK, it's 5 hours. From here, it's more.
Oh, I meant the times change.
Oh, yes. Sorry. My mistake.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad going over there from the East Coast. It's bad coming back to the West Coast. That's brutal.
It just I've found that there's a point in a flight when it's longer than 5 hours that my body's like, we got to go. We got to do something. I can't watch any more movies. I can't watch any more TV. I can't play any more games. I've read all the books. I've slept all the sleep. I've done it all. Eaten. There's nothing left for me to do other than to just grab a parachute and land wherever in the middle of the cornfield. DB Cooper.
Yeah, you ate all the snacks too quickly. You got to ration the snacks out.
Hey, Mike Schur, is Billy Madison funny?
The answer's right there.
I think that I'm a little too old, frankly, to have latched onto the Sandler oeuvre. Like I was like every comedy writer, not every comedy writer, many comedy writers who were like 5 to 10 years younger than me. Sandler's their god. Like Andy Samberg, like Sandler is his god.
No, that's too bad.
And he's like 4 years younger or 5 years younger than me. And I think I was just too old. It wasn't quite hitting me at adolescence, you know? And as a result, that's never been my thing. Like he's an undeniably funny person, but those movies, I just kind of missed those movies. All of them. Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, like Big Daddy, all the, like his entire oeuvre.
His good ones.
What just wasn't my thing.
Yeah. Amin is old too, so he doesn't like them either. And I found that like there's a range from people from like their maybe early 30s to mid 30s or late 30s that were in that perfect sweet spot of Billy Madison and
it's
Happy
like
Gilmore.
for me that was like I'm older, so for me that was like Monty Python and like early Woody Allen movies or whatever. And people who are older than I am look at those things and are like, why? I don't understand why you think this is funny. I think it's like the thing about SNL casts. If anybody ever says, you know what the best cast of SNL was? They will inevitably then name the cast that was on the show when they were 13 years old, because that's when they discovered the show and discovered comedy. So like everybody insists that their favorite cast was the funniest cast, and it's literally just the cast from when they were between 13 and 14 or 13 and 15 years old.
They talk about this with music also, that like the music that from your high school age is the music that embeds itself in your mind, and for the rest of time, that's what you compare everything against. You say, these guys nowadays, this isn't music. I'll tell you what music is, and inevitably the songs and the artists that you're going to name are going to be the ones from when you were in high school.
You were a sophomore in high school, yeah. have tried so hard to get my kids into like Nirvana, and they're just so uninterested. Could not be less interested.
It's funny, Mike, because that happens to me with music with my kids, and I don't know what sonically they're hearing that makes them say, I don't like that, right? When I'm like, this is timeless, no, but they don't like it. But then on the flip side, my kids just recently discovered Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I didn't introduce it to them. I don't know how they did, but they found it on HBO Max, and they're like, this show is amazing. And so you as a content creator, how often are you thinking about, this is something that's going to stand the test of time versus this is something I just think is really good?
Never. I mean, in terms of the things that I'm working on, are you saying?
Yes.
Never. Like the idea that you would ever think to yourself, like, I'm writing for the ages or something, like, forget it. Like, you can't.
Parks and Rec, you knew.
No. No one knows. And the idea that you would ever have that as a goal, I don't even know what you would do differently. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you don't think like, well, I could write it this way, or I could try to make it last forever and write it this way. Yeah. Like, you just make what you make and you hope for the best. My kids recently discovered like everything that they discover is from TikTok, or at least my son. My son's 14. Everything that he gets into from TikTok. But like recently there was that thing of where the Minions movie came out, and he was like, hey, I want to go see the Minions movie. And I was thinking to myself, like, he's 14. He's like a little old to go see the Minions movie. And I was like, all right, man, sure, go ahead. And he was like, yeah, but I want to wear a suit. And I was like,
suit?
What?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it turns out that this thing started happening on TikTok where kids were dressing up in suits to go to the Minions movie.
I can't believe your kid was one of the Minion suit kids. That's amazing.
Well, he wasn't, because I didn't know what was going on, but I was like, I don't know what this is, but I don't like it. And you're not wearing a suit. It just feels like
oh my God, you wouldn't let him have the clout?
No.
Please, Mike.
No, because I was like, this feels like a cult thing. Like this is the first step on a path that leads you to be like the guys from Clockwork Orange. Do you want to really?
Or like reference. In God's Breath, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't want you joining God's Breath. Like, I don't want David anywhere near you. So I said no, but like that's like the idea that you would ever be able to anticipate, like that Minions movie made 40% more money than it was probably going to, because a bunch of kids started wearing suits from TikTok and going to that movie. Semi-ironically. So like, how is anyone supposed to anticipate the way that people consume content? Forget it. It's impossible.
I wouldn't want my content to be consumed like that. I'm like, you know what? Never mind. Keep the money. I don't want people ironically consuming.
I think your tune would change very quickly if you were writing a movie like that. You'd be like, I don't care. Sure, have them wear suits, have them go naked. Who cares what they're doing as long as they're buying tickets.
All right, Mike, we've done too much nonsense here. You're here to do a stat of the day. Let's do a stat of the day.
Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day.
Presented by ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Go on, Mike.
You guys are from Miami, and lady are from Miami or live in Miami. You're very familiar with the undefeated 1972 Dolphins team.
Yes.
The 1972 Dolphins offensive line averaged 255 pounds each, which is 5 pounds less than Sebastian Janikowski. So imagine
is that smaller than Aaron Judge?
Football team. Oh, way smaller than Aaron Judge. Judge is 282.
Good Lord.
So just imagine the next time the Dolphins are raising champagne glasses because the last undefeated team lost. Imagine that their offensive line is a bunch of guys smaller than Sebastian Janikowski.
The heights and weights of football players, like, they would not be. It's the one sport where you definitively cannot compare across eras, because those guys are so small.
They're tiny. Defensive, especially on the line.
Like minions.
Sometimes you'd get like fullbacks they're minions. By the way, I don't know if you have time for this. I also have a very quick top 5 list I'd like to do.
Oh, nice.
Oh, please do.
Hold on, let's get the fanfare ready. Chris is not ready. Chris.
Christ almighty,
Born ready.
Chris.
Born ready.
Okay, there you go. He's a good basketball player.
Shit.
There it is. All right, there we go.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Just do up a brick right there. Oh, there's a rebound.
Van Stevenson
That was me
podcasting.
celebrating that I have the sounds right.
Yeah. Hit it, Mike.
Right.
All right, these are the top 5 worst takes from the show in the last 7 to 10 days that I've heard. You ready?
Let's go.
Number 5.
Mike saying The Wire is bad.
That's 5?
How is that only 5?
Yeah. It's only 5 because it's been talked about so much. It was much higher, but then you all talked about it yesterday, so I was like, this can't close. Number 4, Mike saying Armageddon is better than Deep Impact.
Wow, you were the rare Deep Impact truther.
Armageddon is a piece of trash.
I know.
mean, famously piece of trash.
I know.
There's one of my favorite things about Armageddon is that there's one of the key plot points, as I remember it, and I haven't seen it since it came out, is that there's like a gun on the asteroid that Steve Buscemi goes crazy and fires everywhere. There's no guns you can't fire guns in space. You can't have explosions in space. There's no air.
I love a good drawing of straws, though. They decided it. They're like, shortest straw stays. Love it.
and then he double cross, and then Bruce Willis double crosses
Yeah.
Oh, Ben Affleck,
him. Take
right?
care of my baby girl.
Spoiler alert.
Terrible movie, phobe.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a terrible movie. All right, number 3, Amin saying Hamilton is bad because there's no dialogue.
I stand by it.
You're not allowed to talk about
Tony-
musicals.
Tony's got my back.
There's no dialogue is such a funny reason to hate a musical.
You see, Mike, this is my thing. People say, "Oh, how did you not know it's a musical?" I said, "Well, Grease is a musical. They talk during Grease. I thought it was going to be like Grease. We'll sing a song. We'll do some
I mean, the
actual
Blues
acting."
Brothers is a musical.
First of all, there is a little bit of dialogue, but also some musicals have dialogue and some of them don't. It's such a funny thing to say. The reason it's bad, this incredibly ambitious, historical reimagining of the founding of the country is bad because there's no dialogue. It's a funny take. It's the third worst take of the last 2 weeks.
In the words of one of our listeners, don't sing me a movie.
Les Mis is. I don't want to give away my top 5 musicals, but it's on the list. And that musical, they sing the dialogue. There is. I know that sounds stupid, but it's not part of the lyrics of the songs. Like when Javert's singing to Jean Valjean, and he's like, "Now calling prisoner 24601, your time is up and your parole's begun." They're just singing the words. And I mean,
Thumb down.
Annoying as shit.
There's just varying degrees of speaking and singing in all musicals. I'm with
singing, talk singing parts of Les Mis is making me rethink my takes now. I think that might be the worst.
Yep.
One day more. Another day, another
All right, number
destiny.
2. This isn't really a take, but Jessica insinuating that somehow the right way to watch television is while also online shopping and watching TikTok on 2 different screens. I just enjoyed hearing a lengthy discussion of Better Call Saul takes from a person who was devoting at most 33% of her attention to the most nuanced TV drama in history.
Check out Mystery.
Yeah,
While
check out
also,
Mystery Crate this week. We dissected Better Call Saul. Mike, there are some shows I watch with my phone down. Better Call
Still shopping
Saul's
though.
maybe one
Better
of
Call
them.
Saul,
But I
the
still have my-
series
I have my
finale wasn't
laptop.
one of them.
I have my laptop up though. Yeah.
I just like that you're watching the show and you're also buying a signed Rick Meyer helmet from eBay.
Yo,
Then you're
check
going
that.
The chicken.
All right, and the number one bad take for the last week was Amin telling me to keep my third eye open because LeBron hadn't signed an extension yet, and then 3 hours later, LeBron signed an
All right, that
extension with the
wasn't-
Lakers.
I feel like I have to keep explaining this. The point was about Bronny and what Bronny's going to do. What LeBron did was sign an extension that has an opt-out after 1 year. Thus,
the whole thing was you saying, and he hasn't signed yet. He's free after 23. What does that mean? And then, like 1 second later, I listened to that as I was landing at LAX, and then I got in. Like by the time I got my luggage and was in the car heading home, I was like, "Oh, LeBron signed a 2-year extension."
This button bar is fun, man.
Splash.
Oh no.
See you, Gary.